Alrighty guys, I'm going to try to give you a real quick rundown of the do's and don'ts and how to use the lab equipment. That way we don't have to spend class time on Monday when you do this lab. You guys can just come in and get going. Alright, it's very important that you watch this video. So, you're going to need to bring in your TI-84. Okay, so now one thing you want to make sure you have is make sure you have easy data. So easy data, if you look on this, I'm going to lean back here, you go to your apps button. So there is the apps, the pink one right here, apps. We're going to find easy data on this. Okay, so we're going to click down and find it. So there is easy data. I'm going to hit enter there, run it. This is what's going to run our vernier equipment, which is super nice and super awesome. Okay, so now you're going to have your easy data set up. Then out of this box you're going to need to only get 2 items. So out of this box right here you're only going to need to have 2 items. And those items are, well actually 3, sorry. 3 items. This is what basically talks to your calculator, alright? And a power cord that actually turns it on. That's to get power. And then something to make that connect to the calculator. So, first things first, we're going to plug this guy in right here. Okay, we're going to plug that in. Boom. Alright, we'll plug it in over here. I put it right by the plug, guys, so nothing's in the way. So make sure it's plugged in, and it's right by the plug. Okay. Next thing, we're going to take this guy. Hopefully you heard that sound. That's a good sound. Alright. So now we're going to take your TI-84. We're going to plug this in to the very top. So we're going to plug in the very top. Also, you can set it next to, but you're going to plug into the very top of this guy too. I hope you guys can see this, but this is the very top of it. Plug in there. Okay? So that's how we're going to hook that up right now. So let me just show you what that looks like from afar. This may get a little shaky here. Okay, so those are going to be right next to each other there. Alright, I'm going to walk it over. Those are going to be right next to each other like that. Okay, last thing before this battery dies that I'm using right now. Last thing, hope you're not getting seasick, ladies and gentlemen. So we're going to, if you're using pH or you're using a probe. If you're using a probe, they're going to look something like this. Okay, the probes are going to come in here. We are going to be having this. It's very important not to spill this solution. This is a buffer that keeps the pH from reading accurately. So without this buffer, this thing does not work properly. Okay. So anyway, but it's screwed on tightly right now. It's not gonna leak out or anything. So to hook this pH meter up, okay, you are going to plug it into channel 1. So if you look here, you have channel 1. Plug it into channel 1. And then it's going to ask you, you're going to scan to see if you can find this out. Okay? So, now I hit the scan button up there. So now if you look, it reads me the pH in that buffer. Okay, and that buffer has, so that's what the pH is right there, 7.48. Okay? So it's an acidic buffer. Okay? So it's going to keep it, but what it does is it keeps it at that constant rate. Alright? It allows the electrodes from dying out without boring the heck out of you with that. Alright? So we have that. Alright, if we did the temperature gauge, it would look similar, okay, like this, and we'd still plug it in right there. Okay, more to come. So remember, guys, if you need to scan it, you look here, right in here. So you don't even have to hit anything. This is instantaneously read the pH right there. Pretty simple, right? Pretty simple. Hopefully, that's part 1 of this. Alright, ladies and gentlemen, so I've had my filter and the filter paper, which are those little holes, little discs that I have here, okay? Make sure you only have one of those, the common source of error, because they like to stack on top of each other, but make sure you only have one of them. You're going to put them in chicken liver, blood basically, so that's right here. So you're going to put them in there, it's going to soak them in Catalase. And in here is 2 milliliters of, also with water, 2 milliliters of hydrogen peroxide. So now what I'm going to do, and this is another source of error, make sure that you're going to have 3 students in a group, you're going to put this in all at the exact same time. And you're not going to start your timer until all 3 of them are at the very bottom. So it's important you guys all sync it up. Okay, so I'm only going to use one because I only have one hand and one hand has to record. So I'm going to throw this down here, boom, and then I would start the timer now. So now you're going to kind of watch what happens here. So you can probably see those bubbles. That is the reaction of H2O2, which is hydrogen peroxide, getting broken down because hydrogen peroxide is toxic. Okay, so the enzymes here in the chicken liver, the blood, is catalase. So notice, up. Now you can stop your timer. After all three of them do that, float to the top, then you can stop your timer. Okay, so you're gonna have three of them in there like that. So you're gonna see how long it takes to go from right down there, okay, all the way to the top. Okay, this is your control. This doesn't have an experimental IV in it, I should say. Excuse me. So this would be your control group. All right. So the time it takes to all three of them to go from here. So that'd be disc 1, and then disc 2 would have a different time. Okay, and then disc 3 would have a different time. You're going to average all of those. So you have 3 discs, 3 different times, depending on how fast they go up or down. Okay. So hopefully that's how we're going to do that. Remember, it's 3. It's 3. We get 3 fingers in there. Okay, 3 at one time, not just 1. I only have 1 free hand. Otherwise, I would throw all 3 of them there at once. But I want all 3 of you to throw them at the same time, and then start your timer, and then time how long it takes each individual one to go up. So that's very important. Okay. The next thing is going to be showing you how to do pH. All right. So the last thing I'm going to show you guys. You're going to notice I'm goggled up here. I don't know if I'll even be in frame, but I'll be goggled up because I'm dealing with this whole lab. We got to wear goggles because we're dealing with 1 molar hydrochloric or 0.5 molar sodium hydroxide. Sorry guys, it's late. So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to mess with the pH in this. So how I'm going to do that, guys, is you see this, okay, we have our, it's in a buffer solution. Remember, we don't want to spill this. So what I do is you gently want to take this off. So you want to unscrew this here. This is going to come off. Don't spill the liquid. Put it in a safe location. All right. Then we're going to make sure we turn on our pH meter. So we're going to put this in here. Okay. Now it's gone up to, I'm going to stir this around. It's kind of important to do this, to kind of stir this around. Okay. Now, depending on what I decide on you guys changing the pH to, right now, I'm reading this right here. This says 6.37 right now. And I'm moving it around to make sure I'm getting an accurate read. Okay? So I'm moving it around. Now what I'm going to do is I had a pipette that said hydrogen peroxide H2O2. I need to have another one that says either what, if I'm using an acid or base, which one I'm using. This is NaOH. This is a base, okay, because it has the ends in OH. All right? So now I'm going to take my sodium hydroxide base. I'm going to put that into the solution here. Okay? I'm going to put this base, sorry guys, into the solution. So I'm going to put a little bit in here. You shouldn't need a whole lot. Okay? I'm just going to put just a little bit in there for the demo here. Alright, so, and what you would want to do is you would want to label this beaker right here, you want to label this sodium hydroxide, so you make sure you know what it is. Okay? So now I'm at 6.87, 6.89. I'm pretty close to balanced to neutral, which is around 7. And actually I'm right around there now. Now if it says like 7.0 to 6.9, it's kind of dancing back and forth, that's good for a pH of 7. Okay? So now what I'm going to do is I'm going to take my pipette that says NaOH on it. Okay? I'm going to take my pipette that says NaOH, and here it is. Okay, I'm going to take this base here. I'm going to suck it up the pipette. Okay, remember pushing in. So do that again. I just push in and then just suck it up like that. Now I'm just going to add 1 drop at a time. Okay, and just you want to gauge and see how fast it goes up. Okay, so now I'm at 7. So I'm just looking at the calculator right now. All right, so it's going up rather quickly. Alright, so I'm already at 8. I'm putting just like, not very many dots have gone in, okay? Drops have gone in yet, okay? Then, we're going to keep going, alright? I'm going to try to get to 12. I haven't done this yet, I just made up a fresh batch of NaOH. I'm already at 10.2, 10.4, okay? I'm at almost So I'm at 11 right about now. I'm going to slow it down a little bit because I'm getting close to 12. Okay. Now of course, this one, sometimes your calculator may turn off. So I'm at 11.23 right now. I'm just adding and looking. Okay, I'm adding and looking. I'm going to try to get as close to what I can as 12 without going over too much. Okay, you want to try to get it right at 12.0. If it reads 11.9 or 12.1, that's fine. Okay, that's fine for our purposes. So now I've got to get a little bit more sodium hydroxide here. Got to get a little bit more of this. Okay. So now, hopefully I can get this up to 12. So this is basically what you'll be doing. You'll be doing this. All right. You get that up to 12. Then what you're going to do, if you are the base condition, you're going to be doing this again. Remember, to grab just one of these. A lot of these are stacked on top of each other. So just make sure you only have one. You want to make sure you peel them apart. Hopefully I'm in frame. Try to peel them apart to see if you can find just one of those. Okay? So that's basically what you're going to be doing. Remember, you're going to be doing that for the pH here. So I'm going to let this soak for a minute. Okay? I have my base here. And then I'm going to drop that in there, and then I'm going to see. Now, normally I would do 3 of them. Not just one, 3 of them. Because I have all 3 lab partners doing that. Then we would time to see how long it took for it to go to the bottom, to go to the top. Not just each disc will have a different number. This will have one number, another disc will have another number, and another disc will have another number. Okay? So that's kind of important. Now, hopefully that helped.